Hello guys, once again it's Matt and the final video. A lot of videos coming out today. Let's thank our members over Lenny 11B, Cots and Crazy Boo for being the full crew members. Thank you all the Fox Band members, the Fish Band members. Subscribe and join our Discord as well. And let's get into it. So, the last video of the day, we're going to fly out the Hunter F6 with the new BR. Finally, this aircraft had received a new BR, which doesn't change anything, and it's still a bad aircraft, but still at least it's something, I guess. I mean, if you get that one chance that you have of having basically a down tier, then you are competitive. But on the other hand, every other single time you are not. Okay? You don't have flares, you don't have speed, you don't turn well, and your missiles only have like a kilometer of range, even though they're very good at closer ranges, but it is 1 kilometer. Which means that you are basically just chasing people for the whole match, and then the match is over and you don't kill anything. It's basically what happens. Or normally you just die for 1R60 or aim 9L. So yeah, it's kind of a rant, but not really, because I think it's a good idea to actually add these aircraft at 10.0. I mean 10.3. Like, come on. I know it was 9.7 at some point and it was kind of OP there, but back then we didn't have missiles, or I mean we had missiles, but not something like this, you know. So yeah, it's complicated, you know. But anyway, it's a fun aircraft in general. I love the Hunter, to be honest. It's one of the best early 50s aircraft that we have, you know. In speed especially, it's a very fast aircraft. It doesn't like have a particularly good turn rate, but still it is a very, very good aircraft. But that's the only problem, that at this BR it loses that capability, you know. So it's problematic. I would guess that, I mean, I would say that 9.7 would be a best BR for it, especially because if the Su-25 is 9.7, this aircraft should be like a 9.0, right? But still, obviously I don't think it's supposed to be 9.0, but I think it's supposed to be like, I don't know, at 9.7 would be alright, I think. I think it needs to be a little bit lowered. But I don't know as well, because it would be scary to have an aircraft such as this. But I mean, if you are basically paying attention, you can always just maintain a proper distance to the aircraft that it's firing these missiles, and with that you can always basically be safe against the missiles, right? So it's not that hard to actually avoid this type of missiles. So I don't know. I just think that obviously the 10.0 is a great BR, and to this, I mean, it's a stepping stone kind of thing, you know. It's the first step. I think we need more than that to this aircraft to be actually competitive, but still I understand the fear kind of thing that these aircraft have because of these missiles, you know. Maybe if you got another missile or something like that, and then it could be a lower BR, I don't know. Because if you compare to the Hunter F1, for example, it's kind of basically the same aircraft. You know, the engine, let me check, is pretty similar. You know, it's a little bit stronger, but it's not like too much. You know, I mean, it's like 1/4 of the power, so it is definitely a lot stronger, but it's not something completely out of the ordinary, and it still has the same flight performance overall, you know. So I don't know, like, it's complicated. It's a really hard aircraft to balance, to be honest. But yeah, I just think that it would be a very nice 9.3 without these missiles, you know, or with another missile if it used another missile. I understand the fun factor of having such a missile, but I still think that it's not fairly, and like it just makes the aircraft kind of hard to balance, you know. If you didn't have that, it would be like a 9.3, one of the best 9.3s, and we are fine and we're good to go, right? But with these missiles, it just makes it kind of weird. I mean, is it fun to fly against R60s in a Hunter? Not really, right? So and it's basically the same BR as the SPS, for example. So I don't know, man. It's 10.3 was unmanageable. Jesus, I think I'm saying correctly, but still. But 10.0 is, it's like, so, you know, like it's too much. But it's at least it's better than the 10.3. That's the only good part about it. I still think that you have to avoid this aircraft at all costs. Go for the other ones. Even the Lightning, I mean, it's a 9.3 aircraft, way better, way easier to fly, to be honest, because you have the speed and can actually um, choose the target that you want to fight and stuff like that. And yeah, basically all the time it will be like this. For example, this is a good option that we see. We are just like, oh yeah, nice, I'm getting into range for for a missile. I should have shot at the missile, but still. And then the guy just crashes or dies for another missile, or somebody else has got the guy, and stuff like that, and you get shot by another missile. So yeah. And this is the last match. This is the first match after I don't know how many, like 15 matches that I played with this aircraft. Probably a little bit less than that, but still. That I actually had fun, because I managed to just surprise two people here, and then I managed to win some dogfights later. So it was basically the only actual good match that I had, you know. So close range, as you see, if the guy is not paying attention to you, it can be a very deadly weapon, but it's such a tiny little window that you have that it's not really worth it to play with it, to be honest. It really is not. As I was saying, the Lightning is way better to go for, to research everything else. The Scimitar is a pretty alright aircraft, but I don't know. But yeah, to be honest, the rank 6 of Britain is kind of not that good. The Jaguar is a hard aircraft to fly, in my opinion. It has some problems. Now I think he got the flares. Let me check. I don't know if the first one got it. No, just the second one. So at least he got flares now. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a very weird. The Harrier GR3 can hold its ground, and the Harrier GR1 has some of the same problems that these aircraft have, but it's still kind of, you know, not that good, to be honest, you know. But I don't know. We will see how it performs overall in the future, you know. But even then, when I got a very good match that I was killing people and it wasn't like a very up tier kind of situation, or even the same tier kind of situation, you have to have a down tier to actually be a good aircraft, you know. Basically my team just died and I was alone against like 4 people, 3 right now, and then another Saber later that will join the fight, and then another Harrier then afterwards. So yeah, it was just alone fighting with an aircraft that cannot outturn this aircraft. Maybe can outturn the AV8, and the F4 can be, I mean, you can win it, but it is a hard aircraft to win too. So I don't know, it's just a very hard aircraft to fly, man, to be honest. The Hunter F6 is just not worth it. And I would just, if I was researching the 3 right now, the UK 3, I would just run from it. Because even though it is a fun aircraft, and you will have this kind of sour feeling, because the F1 is an amazing aircraft at 9.0. I remember when I got it, it was just an amazing aircraft. I really love it. But then you got the F6 and you think like, now, yeah, better Hunter and stuff like that. But the BR just completely destroys the aircraft. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about this type of situation, you know, because they add these kind of modern missiles, and then an aircraft is very hard to balance. We have problems with that with the Su-25 and the A-10 as well, even though it is debatable that if it's hard to actually balance that as well, you know. It's kind of easy actually. It's just to put it in 10.0, 10.3 and everything is fine. But this aircraft, if it's a 9.7, it would be probably destroying everything at an 8.7, but not too much, you know. You can still die. And if you get an up tier, you'll get the same BR that you're already fighting. So I just think that it should be a 9.7. It kind of has no reason to be um, a 10.0 still. You know, I know they changed it from the 10.3, but even with that, I don't think it worth it. You know, but yeah. And here we had a massive kind of a dogfight that I did against four guys here, three guys initially, and then the fourth one afterwards. So yeah, two DF4Ds. They turned basically the same as me, but I got him in the head-on. Obviously, the Aidens are pretty alright for cannon head-ons like that very quickly. As you see, my team is completely dead compared to the enemy, but still. And yeah, another Harrier was coming towards me as well. I just had to have a little bit more energy. I thought we only were two of them there together with me. And I just decided to turn to actually try to get somebody in a head-on. I mean the F-86 would be a dangerous aircraft to do a dogfight with, but the other ones would be kind of alright. Gotta quit it on there. But yeah, missed that. And then the Harrier came, I think. He's close, he's flying around nearby us. Yeah, there you go. He appeared up there. But yeah, it's a difficult aircraft to fly, man. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this, if it's a very good aircraft or not at this BR. And I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys.